Look at this. Look at this. On an island, Oromocto Island. October. Oh yes, those Americans will say, ooh, you live in Canada. Ooh, it must be cold. Yeah. Beautiful canoe. One issue I want to talk about. We're going to have a little chat. I'm really interested, and we're going to find out more what's going on. Excuse me, am I in an episode of Duck Dynasty here?
I was thinking maybe we'd sing some ZZ Top songs together later. Oh. You're a good singer, aren't you?
Like me? Please. We want to encourage people to listen to this, not turn them off.
We could shoot some ducks. I mean, we just need a gun. And
your name is, want to say your name?
Laurie Manzer.
Laurie, and you are just
guiding you today.
You're the guide? Yeah. Canoe, fire. My God, it's nice.
I like to get people out for therapy. This is great for people that, with mental issues, no matter how severe or how small.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. Yeah. Now, this is relaxation. Now, we talk.
Oh, yeah.
We talk, and I had a person 10 years ago that went into a mental ward and told me, I'll mention no names, told me, Charles, there's a major problem with soldiers at the mental ward in Fredericton that came from Afghanistan. We're going to have a problem in the future. Canadians were supposed to be peacemakers, but Harper changed all that. So, are we having problems with soldiers now here in Canada, how we treat them, mental issues?
Yeah, there's obviously a problem when we have soldiers committing suicide, and we got to understand, why. Why is this a sudden impact to the Canadian Forces and for people that have retired? We can say Afghanistan. There's other issues as well, but Afghanistan was a big one that brought out, the PTSD and things like that.
So, how is there a lot of soldiers committing suicide?
Well, I've had friends and comrades that have, and I read the newspaper like you and keep my ears open. And it is quite high. And what's bigger than that are the ones that, haven't committed suicide, that are my friends out there, that really have some things that need to be dealt with.
What's the problem? What? For an example, I know when the cops raided my place, I'm not going to go long-winded, raided my place, I always said, okay, somebody gets attacked on the street, they say, well, I haven't been the same since that happened. I said, get over it. When the cops raided my place, you know what, to this day, 3-4 years ago, when I hear the door shut outside, it rattles me. I haven't been the same.
You got a small understanding of what's going on with the soldiers, because multiply that by 10 or 20. I've never been in combat, but I've talked to people about it. I'll never quite understand. But some of the things that have gone on, that's a trigger for you. And you know what? You're no much of a weaker person than any soldier. When anything's traumatic, like the cops coming in, cops lying and accusing you of things, that can be as traumatic as being in a situation where you come upon an accident. Let's say there's an accident on the road. These are all traumatic things.
But the soldiers are much worse.
Well, yeah, and I can't even speak for them because I was never in battle or in combat, so it's not fair for
What are you hearing? Why are they suicidal? Why are they depressed?
Well, I think the problem is, and we can't blame any one person, it's just the culture nowadays. Men are supposed to be strong, they're never supposed to say I'm weak. I find that the Canadian Forces isn't doing enough to look at alternative therapies, yoga, biofeedback, breathing exercises, even cannabis. Cannabis is used by many other countries to treat their soldiers in combat. Just look at Israel, for example, and the program they have.
What do they have?
Cannabis. Well, they treat their soldiers with cannabis while they're serving, but only temporarily. Yes, only temporarily to get them over that hump, so to speak. As well, they do a lot of training, a lot of education, and they're trying to figure out what is the trigger and why are men and women going into battle, especially over in that part of the country, and they're just trying to find a solution. There's no cure for PTSD, but we can maybe lessen the effects before we go, and even look at different treatments.
So do we have a problem here? We're doing enough, or we're not doing enough?
I think we're just on the edge
are they doing better in the States than we do here? What's the better?
Oh, it's hard to compare the states because their type of mandate and what they do is a lot different than Canadians. Canadians are always considered the peacekeepers. Americans, they're more of the world police. You hear a lot of that. So it's hard to compare. I mean, the United States has so many veterans and so much money poured out to treat them. I don't think anybody's really doing enough. We have to think outside the box. We just can't look at giving these pharmaceuticals are probably what's killing most. Look, I've got friends that I had one friend took 39 different prescriptions. Half of them were for the actual condition. The other half were side effect medicines. Oh, you take this, you get a dry mouth. Take this and it makes your mouth wet. But when it makes your mouth wet, it makes you pee more. So you want to pee less, so take this. And when you're peeing less, and it just goes on and on and on. I know I have friends that have taken 150 pills a day. 20 different prescriptions, 120 pills a day. They're devouring them and walking around like zombies. I don't even know these people anymore.
Do you think they're the term of doctors being legal drug dealers? There's some truth to it?
Well, it is.
Which, for the record, my doctor's a very good one.
Oh, and my doctor as well. But, look, the mentality. Look, when we were kids, take this, take some cough syrup, take this medicine. This pill will cure everyone. We got to get out of this mentality. Look out here today. We're going to have the best day ever. No marijuana on my part because I am legal 100%. You notice how little bit I use today because this is therapy. This is making me feel good. It's sunny. It's beautiful. All the animals we've seen. We have a little fire here. So there's much more to it. And I think many militaries across the world have to not just dump money into it, not just dump doctors, but think outside the box and look what's good for their soldiers. Decompress them better when they come back from battle or come back from tours. There's many good ideas.